Right now, I'm so delighted to bring back a performer from the original Reason Rally in 2012. He is part of a group of artists called Mad Art Lab, where art meets science and skepticism. So I love him. Will you welcome poet, performer, brilliant man, filthy pants, Victor Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Harris.
Good morning, DC. My name is Victor Harris. I do have an album for sale. It's called In Reason I Trust. It can be found on iTunes. I also have some drop cards with me. The name of this poem is Say Anything. It distresses me how tenaciously my people hold on to Jesus. When God, Jesus, Jehovah, and Allah never fell from the lips of our ancestors as they were trapped in the bellies of boats, bringing them across the Atlantic, raping them of the only home they ever knew. These same gods enabled our enslavers to see us as nothing but chattel, below human beings, because their holy books, falsely attributed to the hands of gods, were written by feeble-minded men who never walked more than 100 miles outside of their villages. Men who had no knowledge of distant lands containing people who did not resemble them. Distant lands containing people who resemble me. My ancestors were victims of a misunderstanding. Victims of an arrogance that allowed men to lack even the will to hate those they enslaved, because hate is something reserved for equals, and their gods gave them domain over land and animals. So if my ancestors were only ever seen as animals in these men's eyes, then why would they waste energy hating me and my kind? My ancestors prayed to different gods who, as far as I can tell, never lifted a finger to help them, who, as far as they could tell, never lifted a finger to help them. So it only figures that they would adopt the god of their enslavers, who, as far as I can tell, has never lifted a finger to help us, has never attempted to dissuade its followers from practicing in human trafficking. In fact, a careful reading of Leviticus chapter 25, verse 44 to 46 instructs the chosen ones to buy bondsmen and bondsmaids from neighboring nations, tells them that the offspring of these purchased people should be passed down in perpetuity, but that they should not rule over their brethren in the same manner. Well-mannered men and cultured women would attend slave auctions on sunny Sunday afternoons fresh from church, because these were social events. Watching men, women, and children sold to the highest bidder, bitter feelings formed deep in the bellies of black men and black women as they watched their families powerless to rebel, compelled by Sunday's sermon to honor their enslavers. Today's reading comes from the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 22, which tells you to honor those who are your earthly masters with singleness of heart, fearing the Lord. Whatever your task, work heartily. And I can hardly believe that we have shaken off the shackles of slavery and yet remain shackled so willingly to the religion of our former masters, accepting their assertions of a loving and benevolent God, accepting their assertions of a loving and benevolent God as they aim pistol and whip at our naked flesh, accepting their assertions of an omniscient and omnipotent God as they aim community and belonging at our raped, raw feelings of being, with us refusing, still, to confront the notion that a God who's supposed to be compassionate and caring allowed one culture to enslave another for economic gain, that a God who is omniscient would have foresaw the downfall of Adam and Eve, would not have placed temptation so easily within reach, would not have given the serpent the power of speech, that an omnibenevolent God allows atrocity like Haiti to happen, at times being given credit, refusing to edit the record to reflect more favorably on belief in a deity, that an all-powerful God allows evil to exist in a world that is inhabited by what are supposed to be his most important beings. My ancestors prayed to different gods who, as far as I can tell, never lifted a finger to help them, who, as far as they could tell, never lifted a finger to help them. So it only figures that we would adopt the God of our enslavers, who, as far as I can tell, has never lifted a finger. Thank you.
Victor Harris! Victor Harris! Please do check out madartlab.com for some more of Victor's work and his compatriots.